This just in, Clippy is back, and this time, he's pissed. So you remember Clippy, right? He was that little anthropomorphic little paperclip that came in like Windows 97 all the way to Windows XP or whatever. He just popped up when you were typing a document and he gave you some of the least helpful advice of all time. Well, he's back, and this time he means business. This time he's not just an unhelpful, cute little paperclip. Now he's leading a punk rock rebellion. This guy is all about the revolution, and the revolution this guy represents is one that is against AI. The one that is against billionaire oligarchs taking all of your data, sucking it in, finding out what makes you sad and scared, and then using what makes you sad and scared to sell you stuff and keep you addicted to platforms. Well, Clippy represents everything that isn't that. He is the antithesis of all the evils in the world right now. And there was a YouTuber by the name of Louis Rossmann that brought this to the attention when he made a video called "Change Your Profile Picture to Clippy, I'm Serious." So what is this revolution? Who is Louis Rossmann? What does all of this mean? Well, I'm here to break it all down for you because it is important business. The uneducated amongst us might call this slacktivism, but when there's enough of us doing a thing that means a thing and it's time to mobilize, well, then it's going to be a whole different story. So first, let's start with Louis Rossmann. Who is this guy and why does he matter? Well, he has 2.3 million subscribers out here on YouTube, and basically he's pro-ownership and pro-repair. Because out here in the world, if you're a consumer, you know this next fact. You don't really own anything anymore. Everything is a subscription model. From video games, to movies, to TV, to smart houses and smart cars and phones and everything in between, nothing is built to last. Everything is built to break down. The schematics are hidden from the public, so then the company gets to just sell you the next thing. There's a reason why you get an iPhone 16 after the iPhone 15, and you don't just repair the iPhone 15 when it needs it. No. You're gonna need to shell out the cost of an entire new phone. So what Louis Rossmann does is he tries to pass legislation bringing ownership back to the public. Bringing those rights back to the people that literally paid for them. Because now we're paying more than we ever have in the history of consumership, yet we don't really own anything around us anymore. What's that all about? Well, it's a bunch of nonsense and bullshit is what it's all about. So a guy like Louis Rossmann lives and exists to fight this thing. Some of the bills he fights passes. Some of the bills he fights do not pass. But now he's trying to mobilize people and make them realize the grander picture of everything out there. Not only are these billionaire companies gatekeeping the schematics, not allowing you to repair your products, essentially renting the license to you so you never own anything ever again, on the back end of that, they're also trying to get all your data. They're trying to find out what your political leanings are. They're using every little piece that you type into Google, and now that there's AI, they're using all of that. That's even more sophisticated to really hone in on everything about the public. They want your biometrics, they want your retina scans, they want your follicles. If you sent a swab to 23andMe, well, now they have your entire family history in the data bank. And this is on the back of us learning about governments around the world, making people upload their government IDs just to access parts of Spotify, just to access parts of YouTube. But the spicy hub sites, well, that's fine. All of these legislations around the world that are designed to siphon your data, that are designed to siphon absolutely everything about you, is all packaged around the safety of kids. So that's how they're gonna sell these bills. They're gonna be like, don't you care about the children? We got to do this. We gotta keep everybody under 18 off the internet, and the safest way to do that is get every single person's government ID. Tell us where you live. Tell us what your IP address is. Tell us what you listen to, what you watch, where you go, what you eat, and all that kinds of stuff. We needs all that data. So then once the billionaires have that data, they can just pass it back and forth. Oh, I got this data from this source. I'll offer it to you for this amount of money. Oh, I got this data from this source. I'll offer it to you for this amount of money. People's search history are being bartered back and forth like potatoes in the 1700s. From social media companies to hardware companies to gaming companies, cars, and everything around us. Houses are now even smart houses. You probably don't even own anything like that. either. I'm not a Tesla owner, but I know there are features that you need to pay monthly to access. And if you don't pay monthly to access, well then you're screwed. There are hospital beds out there that if they break, the part that breaks would only cost a couple $100, but you can't just buy that part. You need to buy an entire like $10,000 bed. We should have the right to repair the things we bought. And I think that that's very common sense. And that's the kind of common sense that Clippy is trying to bring back into the world. So, what's the deal with Clippy? Well, when Clippy was first introduced in 1997, yeah, he was kind of a first attempt at an AI bot that just popped up to help you with a task that it thought you were doing. Oh, it looks like you're writing a letter. Maybe you'll try indenting over here. Oh, have you heard about paragraphs? Looks like this thing is spelt wrong. That kind of thing. He came equipped with like Microsoft Office or something like that, and he was so annoying. This guy didn't know what you were doing, popped up at the wrongest times of all time, and seemed to know less than your 6-month-old nephew. He's like, get out of here, Clippy. But that is the beauty of Clippy. He wasn't trying to get your data. He wasn't trying to figure out where you were, what you watched, what you wear, what makes you sad, what makes you scared, who you voted for. Clippy didn't care about any of that stuff. Clippy just popped up when he thought you needed him. And then he was like, oh, you don't need me? Okay, then bye-bye. No attitude, no nothing. He didn't try to marry you. There was no Clippy waifu skin. It was just Clippy. That is why the image of Clippy represents the antithesis of everything that is going on in the consumer world right now. Hell, in the entire world right now. We have a kind of 1984 dystopian reality kind of unfolding out there in real time. And I'm not the only one saying that. I'm not out here fear-mongering or anything. If anything, I'm just repeating stuff that I've heard before. But you don't need to be particularly bright to understand the stuff that's going on out there right now. We were kind of warned about a very long time ago in this novel, written in the 30s about the 80s, but it's unfolding in the 2020s. We got the National Guard out there in the States practically enforcing martial law, armored robotic dogs, we got drones up in the sky, you can put on a helmet and pretend you're in a virtual reality for the entirety of your life. It is no longer science fiction, people. We are absolutely here. And on one hand, Clippy could represent the very beginning of this evolution of AI chatbots like controlling our lives. Or you could look at them completely different. None of that was even considered when developing Clippy. No, it was just a cute little thing to help you write a resume. So that's why Louis Rossmann is saying if everybody changes their profile picture to a Clippy, then it'll be obvious that there's a movement standing up against this thing. And it can be silent, you know? Profile pictures are everywhere in comment sections, no matter what the comment is. That profile picture is alongside it, and now everybody reading that comment knows where you stand on this side of history. And if there's enough of them, and enough of these comment sections are being filled by Clippies, when it comes time to enact action, well then we have all these passionate little paper clips ready on the front lines to stand up against the billionaire oligarchs that are holding us all down 1984 style. And I'm here to say that Clippy is the most punk rock and the most important revolutionary figure in the history of planet Earth. It's just getting started, but because of what it represents, it literally is all encompassing. And then other people might be like, oh, you don't like it? Just stop using technology then. That is not realistic in today's day and age. We should be able to use technology, repair technology, and have that technology not spy on us 24/7 in order to sell us the next thing based on the last thing that we searched. Keeping us sad and scared and petrified to speak up and say our actual opinions is exactly what they want, and we can't let that happen. But Clippy is just a simple way to let them all know that what they're doing is fucked up and they can't fuck with you. Clippy Nation, rise up. I'm gonna change my profile picture on this main account to a Clippy, and if you do the same, that means you're standing with me and standing against all of this bullshit that's going on out there that I know is making you sad and scared and pissed off and confused and betrayed and all sorts of other adjectives. So that's the deal with all these Clippy profile pictures that you might be seeing all across the internet. You should join in. Okay, goodbye, see you later, and have a good one.